I'm not even pushing her. We're not even pushing Eastside Band. We're not even pushing her. YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. Welcome back to Gallop Racer 2024. I know I didn't have any formal announcements for the new year. By the way, happy belated new year to everyone that's not in the Discord. Yeah, I don't know if I've even made it a habit of doing like New Year's videos on this channel. I don't really think I have. I think I live streamed on New Year's maybe the one year. I think. I can't remember actually. But point being, sometimes for me, like New Year's, I like to just kind of reflect on the year, reflect on how I can obviously improve and be a better person, be better at achieving my goals. So for me to do that, sometimes I feel like I need to kind of be in my space, if that makes sense. And I don't go out for New Year's. I don't typically hang out with people. Like I may be around family for like half the day, or maybe at the night when the ball drops or something like that. But outside of that, like I really spend New Year's kind of that day, those 2 days by myself mostly. Because like I said, it's a time where I can really just reflect on the year and see what I did and decide on things I want to improve going forward to obviously make myself a better person and amongst other things. So I don't always feel like it's me being truthful to just put out a video or something just because it's New Year's. Like I feel like it's more important to do those things just when you're feeling like you really want to say thank you in that particular moment. I'm always saying thank you to you guys for the support on the channel and everything, but hopefully it makes sense. Like, you know, everybody puts out New Year's videos. Everybody puts out New Year's resolutions. That's just not how I've lived my life. And it doesn't feel as genuine just for me personally. I'm not saying for anybody else, but for me it doesn't feel genuine if I'm doing it just because it's like, oh well, everybody else is putting out a New Year's video saying, hey guys, we gained 55 million bazillion views this year, and you know, like that doesn't resonate with me. It feels just it doesn't feel like me being truthful to my audience, to you all who I consider my friends, my gaming friends, wherever you are in the world, community friends, however you want our friendship to be referred to as, that's completely fine with me. That's how I view you guys in the community. So I like to always refer to you in that way and not just like, oh, you're just a number and look at this. And I hate seeing YouTubers do that, and I never want to. So kicking off today, grade 3 unicorn stakes here, 8 furlongs, running a mile with extreme kick. She's been on a roll. To check her stats here, she only has one grade 1 win at 8.5, and no grade 2s or grade 3s. So this would be amongst her first. She is the daughter of the late great Secretariat, and she has great abilities, and she can run virtually anywhere except for dead last. So she's not a closer in that way, but she does want to be towards the back. Her stats aren't that impressive, but it's all pedigree with her. Toxic Blonde has a decent pedigree on her side. She comes from Blues Breeze, if you guys are familiar, obviously, with that colt. So there's some speed, and as you can see by the 80 heart rating, some guts. But she's almost at her peak. She's pretty much there. She's not going to get much better than this, which is kind of crazy. Like, the temper and response, the feel being that low, those she inherits from her mother. But nonetheless, let's get rolling. But just because I don't do typical New Year's videos doesn't mean I don't want to say thank you guys for the love and support through 2023. And just in general, like I said, my appreciation for you guys in this community is you know, it's limitless, so to speak. It's not just about just supporting me for 1 year. It's just anytime you guys have supported me on this journey, whether you've been here years or whether you just recently found the channel, that's really all that matters to me. That's what I appreciate the most. Just that you guys have supported. You all have supported from wherever you've been, whenever you have the time, in your day or your evening, whenever you do turn on YouTube. That's what I appreciate the most, you know? So again, I just prefer to say that when I really, you know, would like to say it and not just feel like, oh, I have to say it at this particular time now because that's how everybody else does it. Like, that's not a transparent way to move to me. It's just a little carbon copy and paste, Control V. Control C, Control V. But yeah, you guys have been awesome for the support, and we still have so many more things to get to and to achieve and to do. Forgot she doesn't have a great response rating. And I do this with her all the time. I get her going late. But she's got a hell of closing speed. And she's going to absolutely run this field down in this grade 3. She's coming for the leader. I don't know who that is. That is... Can't tell. She's coming for the leader, but nothing is happening. Regal Cancer, that's the second favorite. And I thought she was going to have that really late driving run. Doesn't happen. So I completely dropped the ball there with Extreme Kick. 100% my fault. Got her going way too late. What do you expect? And, yeah, terrible spurt run. But, sorry, just writing that down. Yeah, not ideal at all. I have no excuses for that one. Just too late. A little bit too late. That's been my kryptonite for the last, I don't know, 2 months in this game. It's really just it's a lazy version of myself not wanting to just be a little bit more conscious and fix it. Hot tea. Spring Mile Cup here. Grade 1 territory. Pearly Ball kicking it off. Second favorite behind the 2-horse Silver Bird. We're basically co-favorites, though. Laughing Hawk is in this... Wait. Laughing... No, I don't own Laughing Hawk. Right? No, there's no way. I thought I was racing with Laughing Hawk. Obviously, I'm not, but... No, I think I passed up on Laughing Hawk. Anyways, Pearly Ball's up. Winner place, let's get it. But yeah, I was just wanting to say that there are a lot of things I'm still wanting to bring to the channel here in 2024. I'm actually working on a new website as of now, entirely different from any other HRG website you guys may have stumbled upon to find me in the past, especially if you've wanted to acquire Horse Racing Manager 2, the video game. That website, that layout, that format, all of that stuff, completely different. I've decided it's been long overdue. I want to keep all of you more immersed into the series, and I know it can be a little bit confusing and hard to do over the videos if you're not able to keep up with like almost every upload, or 95 or 90% of the uploads. So the website's going to have a lot of different features, but one of the main components is going to be to keep track of our horse's progress. So if you go to equibase.com or wherever you go to look at horse racing stats for thoroughbreds, quarter horses I think are included as well. I'm not sure about harness and that category, but thoroughbred wise, equibase.com. How that website is designed, for those of you that know about it, that's more or less the theme I'm going for. It's not going to be exactly like it, not even close, but some of those pages, some of the features, how the categories work for the rankings of the horses based off of earnings, graded stakes, Equibase speed figures. Those are the metrics I'm going to work into my own website here for HRG. I've talked about it before. Like, website design is like what I do. Technically, that's in the graphic designing field. Usually for projects and work non-related to horse racing, but like I have that experience, so I don't have to like pay somebody to like design my own website or my graphics. Oh, overwhipped the Pearly Ball, almost screwed it up. Did I screw it up? Oh, overwhipped way too many times. Oh man, I had it. We were in the cruise control, and then I just tapped the whip one too many times and slowed down our momentum twice. And the thing that sucks about this streak of races, there are 5 races. I can't even redo these. I'm stuck with those terrible results. And what I've noticed is I'm talking a little bit too much. Usually when I talk too much is when I'm not as focused. We're up in the Belmont Stakes, 12 furlongs with Revenge. I think I said I wanted to see... No, Revenge is actually 1-2 grade 1s. One of these colts I'm trying to see if they're really going to be worth the energy or the time. Anyways, we're the 5th favorite, top 5, at least an easier goal. When I say easier, it's just because those races we should have won. It's so frustrating. Just trying to describe the website and I'm dropping races at the same time. Apparently the multitasking is not going particularly well for this episode. Grinds my gears. But yeah, bottom line is the website's going to be like Equibase. You guys will be able to keep track on our top, horses for the different respective categories. There's stables. I want to get you guys more immersed in that again and have a way to have you more involved. I just haven't thought about it yet, so I'll probably be making a channel in our Discord for volunteers if you would like to help in the storytelling, the article writing, all of that stuff of the website. I just kind of want it to be an immersive virtual ground space for Gallop Racer, at least for this community and this channel. And of course, I do want to feature you guys and your Gallop Racer playthroughs on that channel as well to just kind of spread more of that through the community. So if people are finding the website from YouTube or mainly through Google, and they're not familiar with our community, they'll be like, oh, hey, here's HRG, this community. I guess there's multiple people in the community that play the game and do this thing. And it could be a way to help some of you grow your channels if you're trying to establish your own little audience and community on YouTube as well. So again, it's my way of trying to, one, give back to you guys that have supported, and two, also expand this community at the same time. It's always been my goal with any of my endeavors as far as creating a community of some sort. I always want to expand it and also make it to the point where others can kind of grow and do their own thing, and just go from there. Like, it doesn't, it's just a way to keep everybody kind of in full circle. And sometimes, people will end up going their own way once they start to grow, and that's fine. That doesn't bother me personally. At some point, that's just natural evolution of growth. People grow in different ways, and once you get to different points in your life, you may just kind of want to focus on your thing. It's life. It's not a super big deal, but that is my long-term goal with all of this planning and designing. All right, now let's see how Revenge goes. Down the stretch we come in the Belmont Stakes. Revenge is a long-distance horse out of Butterfly Effect. Don't know who that is. That's Moral Chimera, not the favorite. 10-9 in that last fraction. Half a furlong left to go. Revenge is reeling. Could we get there in time? Revenge trying, but Moral Chimera is just going to hold on. That is a fantastic effort, though, from Revenge. We were supposed to only finish in 5th place, so the fact that we were rallying for the win is a much, much better effort there. Still bummed about the first 2 races I dropped, but nothing I can do. I just hope I didn't lose those horses. Shouldn't have, though. Great ride there from Revenge, and a much better race, as you can see. Much more locked in on that race mentally, and the better result came, and chances are, could have actually started him a little bit sooner. He actually had way more endurance than I thought he would, which I always forget. He comes from Butterfly Effect. He's bound to have endurance in there. Yeah, and I just feel like I just kind of got going a little bit too slow. As always, my kryptonite. But then if I go too fast, I tire my horses out. It's like I go through these random stages in the game for a couple of months where I'm just totally out of sync with my spurt. And you guys have seen it. You'll see me win races nonstop, and I'm like in the zone, and then you'll see episodes like this where I'm up and down. I'm just going through that phase right now, and I don't know why. I even have a new controller. Brand spanking new. Like, the colors are like bright and saturated and not dull and smeared, when you've had a controller and you've probably used it for too long. Just natural wear and tear. So there's no excuses. I have no excuses. My movement isn't affected. I finally have functional D-pads again. We're up in the Britain Derby, 12 furlongs. Whispering Gold. He's up. He's been awesome. By Gentle House, out of Chasing Hearts. To me, he's kind of like the opposite. Not the opposite. What's another word? He's like a variation of an Eastside Band type of horse. I don't know what his stamina still is, but he's been on a roll. He has the most grade 1s out of this 3-year-old group that he was born together with. There were 5 others, including himself. He has the most grade 1s out of that group of 3-year-olds on track right now. So that says a lot to me. I'd say about 7. There are 7 3-year-olds in this group. And he is the highest graded stakes winner out of that bunch so far. As far as grade 1s are concerned. Technically, no, altogether. He has a grade 3, a grade 2, and several grade 1s. So, yeah, Whispering Gold is the strongest out of this 3-year-old group. So, like I said, he's showing shades of an Eastside Band type of thing. He has very easy abilities to work with. Like, You know, it's hard to lose when I'm racing on these horses because if I'm dropping the ball, their abilities can help bail me out of situations. That's kind of my crutch. Not all the time, but for certain horses, yeah, that's definitely something I lean on. But like, it works. It's meta. If you guys are into gaming to that extent, it's just basic Gallop Racer meta that works for me. Last corner leader, grit, and stretch burst. At some point, you're going to get at least 2 out of those 3 abilities per race if you run your race accordingly. So, all right, let's actually like get a win. Like, technically, this whole episode, except for that last race, should be wins, and I'm so far 0 for 3. 0 for 3. So, not ideal. We'll improve. I gotta admit, the Gallop Racer 8 soundtrack I like a lot. I like the upbeat tempo of it, which is what I'm playing right now in the background. Not sure how loud or how lowly you guys can hear it. Lowly's not the proper use of context in that situation, but you guys know what I mean. I feel like some of the Gallop Racer music is good, but it's not like it's not my ideal like racing music. I feel like, you know, there's a certain upbeat tempo, I think, for these type of racing games that you like to have. Now, we're supposed to be at the front, and somehow I got shuffled into the mix here. Good thing is we'll have plenty of stamina, but this is not where my boy wants to be. I'm going to actually have to send him up the rail here. I don't know how I allowed that to close so quick, but... yeah, I'm just going to have to wait and be patient. Not an ideal race, but we're max stamina. I mean, he's not working hard. That's the good thing. So, like, me not running him at the front is not ideal for his position rating, but he's a strong enough horse, and I think he's fine. And look at this. Boom. Moving through already. You know what I mean? Like, me saving him ground did not hurt him. Just make sure he's, okay. We'll send him now. Send him now. The field didn't get away from us too much, so I wanted to make sure he was in position to strike. Who is the favorite today? See, there's Grit. Don't even need last corner leader. Oh, overwhipped, overwhipped. Ah, no, 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 no. I got to stop doing that. Oh, no. Dig back. Oh, wow. Every race, I'm doing something. I cannot believe I overwhipped several times. Oh, we hit our goal, but that was a win. That was a win. Oh, this is awful. This is awful, 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 awful. There's 3 races I should have won. Double S on the spurt, and I'm over whipping. I don't know why. I really don't. I'm not focused. Okay, Eric. Let go of the square and the circles. Eastside Band is up in the Red Flower Stakes to end this 5-race streak. That has taken up... only 18 minutes. I could totally start over, but as long as I don't lose any of these horses, it's okay. But it's not okay. It's not okay. Like, I could be making our horses stronger, and, like, losing easy races is hurting some of that potential. 100%. 100%. I'm sure the game gives you some sort of penalty for that. Like, if you're the favorite or whatever your position is you're supposed to finish. Let's say you're supposed to win, and you finish in 3rd. I do think the game takes that into consideration. I don't think it's going to ruin your horse, but like I do think having more of those results will probably hit you with like a 5% negative penalty or something. Every game that has RNG, to some extent, for bad performances, punishes you in some way. Most of them do, at least if they were made like after like the early 2000s. So I'm saying all that to say, yeah, like I really have to stop doing that because it's probably hurting the potential of my horses to some extent. I can't prove that. That's just my experience with games and RNG and, you know, penalty multipliers and all of this stuff. That's usually how it's worked. That's just my experience. So, over whipping has cost me 2 races. And I don't know why I'm doing it. Now, granted, I never used to overwhip on my old controller. It could be the sensitivity. Not making excuses, but you guys that have watched me, I would say for the last couple of months on a relatively consistent basis, you've noticed I haven't overwhipped in this game hardly at all. Like that's not been something I've done. In fact, today is like the first day I have overwhipped in 2 races back to back, essentially 3 races actually. It's very uncharacteristic, right? Now, me not getting my spurt started, that's a very characteristic, qualm of mine that I need to fix. But the overwhipping is not a thing. But I do think I'm actually adjusting to the sensitivity a little bit, which is a little bit stupid because I've been playing video games all my life. Like I should be used to adjusting a little bit sooner. But if I'm not playing consistently, then yeah, it can happen. I mean, they have a long way to go. Like, I'm just gonna kind of let her do her thing. Don't really need to do anything yet. I'm not even pushing her. We're not even pushing Eastside Band. We're not even pushing her. I've never been able to do this with her in this game, ever. Never. I didn't even have to push her. Oh, oh man. As if it's really not fair, is it? I just have a horse that can bail me out of races that I'm losing just on skill alone. And it's just me not doing well enough in those other races. But Eastside Band. You all, most of you that are Eastside Band favorites like me, we've watched her through her career. I've never been able to just coast with her like that through a race completely. 10 lanes with a fast pace, and I didn't have to whip her, and I tapped up on the directional button once. Once. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I've never in my gaming, in my Gallop Racer gaming career at least, because again, I never got this far when I played as a kid. I always restarted my saves for some odd reason. Was a bit too much of a perfectionist at that point in my age. I've definitely matured out of that stage in my life finally. But yeah, I never got to a point where I had a horse as good as Eastside Band. Like in any Gallop Racer, this is new levels of achievement for me and for us in the community. Is I didn't name her. It was a name you guys gave to her, and most of her pedigree, in fact, you guys have more so contributed to just kind of the horses and giving me the idea to breed the combination together. Like, yeah, instinctively I knew having 2 of my better horses at the point in time, which was Diamond Plain and Tigers for Stone. I knew combining those 2 would give us a strong horse, but I didn't think the culmination of that pedigree from Tigers for Stone and who she comes from, I didn't think all of that would marinate here with the super elite Eastside Band. Like, she's so strong. It's insane. Like, I wanted my super horse. I really didn't think she would come as soon as she arrived. And I mean, technically speaking, from how fast some people get through Gallop Racer, she came later in the trajectory. But the point is, like, I thought I was still gonna have to go through a couple more years of like breeding to get her. She technically, in my opinion, for where we were in our breeding schedule, was like half a decade ahead of schedule. Look, I'm holding her back, and then I give her 2 little urges there, another third one, and then she's just coasting. She's coasting along. Look, the other horses behind us are trying. The jockeys are going crazy, and Eastside Band is on cruise control. My hands are not moving. She's just running on pure merit. She is a super, super horse. She is a legendary horse at this point. She has to be. Keep in mind, I have won grade 1s with her every year, so I'm definitely going for that title all the way till she's 8. There's no reason for me to retire her before she can't, like, continue racing. Like, I race her as long as the game allows me to race her, because I just want to, like, she's going to be the benchmark for any other super horse to come after her. It's like, in order to be considered the next best horse for my playthrough and for this particular channel of the HRG community, like, Eastside Band is going to be the benchmark. She has to set it. See a couple replays from her mother, Tigers of Stone, in there. I'll probably replace this little Vixen one. Because she is a bunch. That might be one of her best wins in her career. Just because, like, it was so effortless for her. She was able to blow the field out by double-digit lengths. And she still had to run 12 furlongs. Like, with a fast pace. With bad positioning. I mean, it wasn't even a good... I lost 3,700 points. It was a terrible race. She completely bails me out. That, to me, is the definition of an elite super horse you want to get. A horse that can do that for you. Obviously, you still want to make sure your skill issue is up there. Your skill level is up there and you don't have a skill issue like I'm dealing with currently. You see all my ratings, all my grades went down, all my categories. Start, position, consistency, feel, everything drops. I was at a 99, it dropped to a 98. Totally means I'm off the ball. Yeah, Revenge got us 10,000. That was actually a good race. Everybody else, just not ideal. Not ideal at all. Like, I really want to redeem myself with all of them, like, ASAP. So, Pearly Ball. Let's go ahead and get races figured out. I had Laughing Hawk. I had Laughing Hawk written in a race that was supposed to be for somebody else. Pearly Ball, I think, right? Are you the one I just raced in the Spring Mile? Yes, it is. I don't have him as Pearly Ball, which is weird. I think Laughing Hawk was in the race, but I wrote down Pearly Ball. I mean, I wrote down Laughing Hawk when I was thinking Pearly Ball, because Laughing Hawk was in that race with us. Finally, I get it out. Yeah, that was not a good race to lose. That's kind of pitiful on my behalf. My bad, bro. My bad. Just have to be better. He's going to have a handicap in anything that's not a grade 1. I can't even settle him for these type of races. I mean, I can, but, like, what's the point? Might as well just give him time off until he can run something of relative competitive, you know. Yeah, a grade 2 is fine. We can take that. He just needs big-time wins, grade 1s especially, but he's still at his peak. He'll be at his peak for another year and a half. I don't really have to rush with Pearly Ball. Eastside Band continues her winning streak. She's only lost one race. She has 17 grade 1s. She's only 5 years old. And as long as she continues to win like this... I know that other ability is Stretch Burst. Have I really not unlocked it with her? That's crazy. Let's check out her pedigree right quick. What was her title so far? GWS Sprint, Mile Champ, Horse of the Year. She's so close to getting a bunch of other titles because I've just been racing her virtually anywhere. So I've been spreading her out amongst like a lot of the categories. But she'll be close to a long champ, mid champ, possibly, maybe not all rounder. I'm not ready to run her on the dirt yet. I want to keep her in this good form. But yeah, she's on a 10 race winning streak as we speak. She's feeling fine. She's like, I just need a little bit of food, a little bit of rest, and I'm ready to go again. Like, oh, the pedigree. The one thing I said I was going to do that I totally did not do. Okay. Pedigree's not here. Pedigree is here. Why isn't it showing up? All the way over, because I'm not going all the way over. Duh, Eric, you know this. So, she has Western Tiger, Arctic Crop. Those two for sure as studs in there. It's great. Flying Cowboy. Had the best of both of those guys as well. And as far as the ladies are concerned, Tigress of Stone, she was amazing. Pink Gemstone, we all remember her. Nightbreeze and Swabbuster, not bad for where I was in that point in the game. Not ideal. I mean, obviously, if I used stronger broodmares at that point in time, we would already, I guess we would already have Eastside Band horses, probably in numbers. As I use Arctic Crop Nightbreeze, I use that combination along with the Western Tiger Swabbuster combination a lot. So if those were stronger broodmares in there, a lot of our horses would be stronger overall. And we would probably have several super horses close to Eastside Band's level. But we're getting there now. But again, really strong pedigree. And yeah, it's just like, man, this is the pedigree that gave me the best horse I've ever had in Gallop Racer. This pedigree right here. It's just kind of like, wow. Looking at it, I'm surprised and also not surprised at the same time. Like, I'm like, Swabbuster and Nightbreeze really contributed to Eastside Band. You know, like, think about it. This pedigree is not that deep. She's a 4th generation filly here. That's not that far back. And somehow you go from where we were to where she is now. You start with Western Tiger Arctic Crop, kind of carrying the load, holding the torch, so to speak, and they're passing it down. And yeah, you end up with Eastside Band. But also, a lot of those horses did well on track. Western Tiger was really good. Arctic was good. I mean, they all had pretty good records, and I didn't lose a lot of bad races with them. That's what I mean. Like, I still feel like sometimes for the breeding profiles, like, that could have been the thing with Golden Boy, too. Like, he was such a weird horse, and I think I got him into the Hall of Fame. Or I didn't get him. No, he wasn't a Hall of Famer. I think he won still 6 or 8 grade ones, but it just didn't feel like there was much consistency with him, and his stats weren't ideal, so just weird stuff, but have to do better. Eastside Band, fortunately, I've been on a roll, so. And also, I'm in a good rhythm with her. She's really easy to work with. Like, I could totally be losing races with her if she wasn't easy to work with, and just among other things. She's clearly a horse that can bail me out, but also a horse that I'm very comfortable with. And I don't have to do a whole lot. She just kind of, she just carries herself. That's my thing. I don't like to struggle when it comes to certain things. Chicago Stakes is probably the next best race for her. But let's run her the Lead Oaks because I'm trying to go for that long champ. But like I told you guys, I like automotive racing. And even in that sport that's different, I like a car or a cart that's like not going to like be hard to drive. Like, that's not my enjoyment. I know some people get more of an enjoyment out of having to challenge and struggle with something more. I don't. Like, that's not where the fun comes in for me, personally. Not, like, in that way. Like, if I'm driving a car, I don't want it to give me a headache because it's too hard to handle. I want it to be something I can control and feel confidence in controlling. And then, like I said, if it's functional, it should do a lot of the work for you, and you just have to make micro adjustments. That's my thing, making micro adjustments. I don't have to make too many major macro adjustments when I'm racing, you know, the micro ones. Revenge, that was a great effort last time out. Couldn't get the win, but he's not a dirt horse. But he has a good dirt rating. I wanted to see how he did. So that does make me wonder, like, I suppose as he drops in his career, I could run him on dirt. I think it'll be easier for him to win at that point. Turf should be where I focus now. Yeah, Turf should be totally be where I focus. So let's go ahead and try to get him in another one. Don't think I'm going for the GWS. That's not really what I think is best for him to pursue. Just want to keep him on a relatively easy-ish pattern. Nothing for you until September as well. Chestnut Stakes. Yeah, that should be a good race for him to win in September. By Gentle House had a butterfly effect. He should be really strong, honestly. Like, Gentle House was a monster. Butterfly effect, technically, up until Eastside Band was our best filly and mare we've ever had. So, should be good. And yeah, I mean, he's doing what most horses at his age are doing for me at 3 years old. Couple grade ones, you know, like 65, 70% win ratio minimum. Just feel like he should be doing better, but he's just now hitting his peak. Still trying to, he has closing speed. He does have a good response rating. Like, I suppose he is a decent closer. Just feel like it's not as explosive as I want, but Whispering Gold. Messed up your win, brother. Had you on a winning streak. You could have been 6 for 7 instead. You're 5 for 7. Let's check out his pedigree as well. Good response rating, good heart, both in the 90s. Yeah, it's pretty solid. This is who he comes from. Arctic Crop. Arctic Crop, Swab Buster, it's so funny. Like, they both are keying a lot of our best horses somewhere in their pedigree. I feel like Arctic Crop, is underrated in the Gallop Racer community. I feel like people don't use him enough, and I don't know why. Like, if you have the right mare, the right brood mare, paired with Arctic Crop, you're going to get pretty good horses. I feel like I don't see people talk about him ever. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, he's such a good early access horse too. That's the thing. As long as you have the money, he pops up in your game pretty early and you can get him and start really good line. And again, he's a pretty easy horse to work with, and that grit ability goes a long way in pedigrees, ensuring that you're always going to have gutsy horses. Horses with good heart ratings, and you'll never have to worry about being demotivated or losing a head-to-head necessarily. So if you're not used to playing with Arctic Crop or playing this game, or you're new to it, or you're returning, I highly suggest you pay attention to him. He's a horse I think deserves way more attention for the siring side of this game, and I feel like he doesn't get it enough. I understand he's been in there since like the first Gallop Racer game, but that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve his accolades. Like, he's a great horse. Biasness aside, I think he's a great sire that you can use if you have the right broodmare. Like, it's just kind of a no-brainer to me. Whispering Gold, do you have a GWS? I should definitely be putting you in there, but I can't even remember who's challenging for the GWS. Okay, let me actually cycle through these races. Anybody doing a GWS race? Glam Queen. She's going for the turf, which I think she should. She's really, really strong at the distance for some reason. Lockwood's going for the sprint, and then I have nobody to go for the dirt. I don't think I do. Rapid Blade would be awesome. She should be good enough to really win out in a lot of races at this point. Her dirt rating is okay, but yeah, I guess I really do have to try her on the turf. But yeah. Does Whispering Gold have... Let me do a quick save. Before we close out here. Does Whispering Gold have any great... I mean, has he been in the GWS this year? I don't know. But what we're doing now is just setting up our races for the next time out. Again, I think keeping these episodes shorter with not as many races is a lot easier. For one, for me to backtrack my catalog if I need to look something up, like as opposed to having to go through an hour and a half worth of footage, like I can bounce back between 30 and 40-minute videos. It's a lot quicker with less racing too. So I can find things easier. It really is a headache for me editing-wise when I have to scroll through 90 minutes worth of footage just to find one little thing. If the episodes are half that length, I save half the time, which is a big deal for me. You guys know I don't always have the time to play this game a lot or to do other things outside of work on some days and weeks. So like I really need to make sure I'm making use of that to the best of my ability. The turf. Who is here? Ah, gosh, Eric rankings. Just totally off my rocker. Just kidding. So Storm Owl going for the turf, possibly. I should give Whispering Gold a shot. Like, why not, right? That's the championship just started. To me, I need to give everybody a shot because whoever wins a race is probably the horse I should stick with. As opposed to just sticking with one horse and then maybe your chances aren't as great. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put him. What did I get? What did I put Revenge in? Chestnut, yeah. Whispering Gold, I'm gonna give you a shot, bud. I think you're capable of winning. Platinum Stakes. That's fine. Yep. All right. Extreme Kick. So sorry, my girl. Blew that one royally. Blew the last two. Yikes. I'm actually on the edge with her. If I lose another, I could lose her. You know what's crazy? I wouldn't even be surprised. Looking at her stats, if you guys have paid attention on this channel, these are the type of horses I end up losing when they have stats that look like this. And granted, I don't genuinely think she's a bad horse. Her stats are definitely well below what I thought they should be in some categories. The heart rating is good. I don't know what the power is or the stamina. The speed should be okay. Still don't even know her distance. But we were supposed to win... Technically, to me, we're supposed to win the last two races, and I didn't. So, I feel like I actually need to put her in a grade 1. I would hate to lose her. As a dirt filly daughter from Secretariat, with all these abilities, that would stink. But I don't know what else to do. Got to keep her on the dirt. So, yeah, I got to figure it out. Would I be a fool for tossing her in the GWS dirt? Or do I run her in the Virgo Stakes? I'm going to run her in the Virgo Stakes. I think she's got to bounce back. And if I lose her, it's not meant for me to keep her. Again, I don't genuinely think she's a bad horse. Like, if I lost her, I wouldn't be upset with her about it. She has such great abilities. I just don't know what it is with her. I think it's the response rating and the fact that she would prefer to run further towards the back. Like, it's just taking me too long to get up towards the front. I'm clearly going to have to start running her as a procedure, and she has the triangle shaded for that. Yeah, that's what I really have to do. I'm just not running her ideally where she should be. With a better response rating, I could run her at the back, and she'd be fine. She's technically too slow to run at the back. Like, she's too slow to respond from the back of the pack and of the field to get to the front. Like, you have to keep her close. Obvious thing, but I was trying to give her a chance running as somewhat of a closer, but clearly it's not what's going to get the wins. So obviously can't do that. I didn't lose anybody, did I? No, Eastside man. No, everybody's good. Okay. Yeah, but no more of that next episode. So a couple races coming up here next time out. Only 2 as far as this particular week. We have the Queen Mile Stakes with Lockwood. Strongest horse in the field. Silver Bird will probably give us a little bit run for our money. Should be able to win at a mile. I think that suits him pretty well. He finished second last time out. Another second a race before that, or 2 races before that. He might be better at the longer distances. But I think I have to try to win at a mile with him. Give it a shot. Final Movie is going to be in that race as well. Storm Owl is going to be up in the London Prince. I don't know if Storm, he has won a grade 1, right? Yeah, he has 2 grade 1s at 10 furlongs. He has 2 grade 2s and 1 grade 3. So, multi-decorated graded stakes winner here, Storm Owl. Good abilities, easy pedigree to work with. Probably the best, I would say one of the top 2 Golden Boy horses we've had. He has had a later growth type, so you can see he wasn't really good until just hitting 4 years old. He might have a steep drop-off as well. I think he is already dropping off. The stamina, I think, has already peaked at 71 or something. So he's average across the board. You know the worst rating you're getting is a toughness rating at 47. Otherwise, he's still a very solid foundation to work with because you know your stats are at least going to be high 60s, low 70s minimum. And if you use a super elite broodmare, like if there wasn't inbreeding involved, which I believe there is. Yeah, there would definitely be inbreeding. But as an example, if I bred him and Eastside Band together, with her stats and his stats combined, neither of them have bad stats below like high 60s. Probably would get a super horse. There is inbreeding involved because they both have Arctic Crop and Western Tiger and Swabbuster. So unfortunately that wouldn't work, but we have plenty of other good broodmares we'll be able to work with. So Rare Emerald's going to be in that race. That'll be a toughie. But that's what we're doing next time out. That'll do it, though. Appreciate you guys for love and support. Until next time, Horse Racing Gamers signing out. Hope you have a great, fantastic day. I'll see you later. And goodbye.
Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.